do inspections, I mean, I'm not telling you not to. My husband works for my competition, and he does actually.
Oh, wow.
It happens to the best of us, you know? But my husband's job is actually warranty. That's his job for another building. And, what he tells me all the time, and this is off the record because I'm not telling you to do either way, it's like, he said, I understand why buyers spend $500-600 on an inspection when you have a warranty. Why don't they do an inspection 30 days prior to the warranty expiring? So you can have a huge punch list of what's really wrong with the house, because you're still gonna be covered. You see what I'm saying? You call us tomorrow and say, my toilet is leaking, customer service has to take care of it. But when the year hits, if your toilet is leaking, sorry. Now, if you do an inspection 90, 60, 30 days prior to your expiration, you can always take that document and say, hey seller, I have all these items here, and I need you to address them before. So now you document yourself and you back yourself up. I'm just giving you advices on how to protect yourself. You know, so those are some advices that sometimes helps. And it will save you a lot of money, because in the resale, like I said, like my first house, as soon as I moved in, I had a leak in my roof. And it was a huge damage, because it, you know, I got the deal, of course. My whole ridge cap had to be replaced. I knew about it. It was a massive sale. I bought it because it was a good deal, and then my money wasn't good enough to fix it. So, you know, then you go with a leak or things like that. With new construction, it's a little different. Any questions? Okay, guys, thank you for having me. You all have my card there. You contact Violet first. She brings you to me. And if she cannot make it for any reason, she will call me, or you guys can call me and say, hey, I just talked to Violet. She's out of the country right now, but I want to come see your project, and I will honor her registration with you guys. Because, you know, she will be the one representing you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so we have Miss Joan. She does credit repairs, and she's going to talk to you about all the credits that are under 640.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi.
Where did you put the marker?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay, I'm with Credit Medic, and again, I do credit repair. So, after you go and, let me write my, you can write this down. So, after you go through your lender and he says that you need help, if you do need help, you can give me a call. And I would,
Excuse me.
everybody's different. So I can't really tell you what, how can I say, every story, every person is different with their credit, right? So we'll go through it and I will tell you what can be done, right? We take off late payments, collections, charge-offs, judgments, anything that is negative, we will take it off, okay? So if you guys need help, you just give us a call and we'll get it done, okay? Anybody has any questions or?
What would be, do you go off of how much you need to fix on the credit as far as the prices go? Or is just a set price to fix a credit?
Everybody's different and I work with everybody.
Well, like the lender says, he has a system that he does. And this is, right, Lois?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When he looks at your credit report and he sees that there is something that cannot be fixed in the system that he uses, then he refers you to the outside credit repair. It's not like you're gonna just go and find Joan and say, hey, Joan, fix my credit. You gotta know what needs to be
Done,
fixed.
exactly, so you work with,
So the lender is
Lois
gonna
and
first
then
tell
you,
you,
okay?
and then it makes it easier, cause you may not need to take everything off your credit.
Yeah, he'll pull your credit and say, well, you have these derogatories.
Right.
That needs
This
to
is
be
what's
fixed, yeah.
causing your score to decrease, this is what you need to repair, and then that's, based on that credit report that you have, And remember, there's 3 different credit bureaus.
Mhm.
So each score is gonna be different from the
Correct.
3 different to the bureaus. So, once you get your credit report, you contact her, and then based on what your lender says, the lender says, oh, well, we gotta repair these items, correct? To get you to the score you want, to be able to purchase this home, and then she will help you with that. And then
Yeah.
I'm assuming then that's when she, she'll tell you at that point what the
Exactly,
cost will be.
exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great, that was
Yeah.
all the questions.
Makes it easy.
Yeah,
Makes
it
it
makes sense
easy,
though,
yeah.
cause I was gonna be like, well, maybe I should fix my credit first, but I'm like, no, you gotta see what needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Well, you think,
exactly,
sometimes
yeah.
you think
Yeah.
that there's certain things on there, cause I've had a lot of, oh no, my credit score is the worst, and they were surprised, and like, well, it's better than they expected, and it's both sides, sometimes you think it's great and it's not, and sometimes people think that it's not that great and it is, and maybe something that you thought was on there wasn't, or you didn't have to take care, and maybe the repair's not that bad, so you don't know until he pulls your credit
And he lets
and
you know
tells
what needs
you
to
and
be
guides
done.
you what you need to do so you can jump on to the next step.
And
And I
the
forgot
good thing, I'm sorry. The good thing about it is when he does that, when he analyzes the credit report, he will probably say, you know what, after this and this is done, you will qualify for X amount, so going out and look for your house. So in the meantime, he's working on that credit, we're out looking for the house. So when you find the house, you're ready to go.
I wanted to clear up some misnomers, misconceptions out there about online credit scores, okay? Credit Karma, Discover Card, what else is out there? Freecredit.com, I don't know.
Everything.
100creditkarma.com.
Yeah.
But your big ones, when you go there, that's not the score that we're using to qualify you, okay? What you see online is not the score we are using to qualify you. Does that mean they're lying to you? No. It just means that they use a different algorithm to determine your FICO score. What I'm creating is a mortgage FICO score. So it's actually different than your credit card FICO scores. So when you're with the credit card companies, they're looking for your revolving credit history, right? You want a revolving credit card, which is the credit card. So I'm gonna look at your revolving credit history to see how you've done. Mortgage history, mortgage FICO score, I'm gonna be looking at your residential history, mortgage history. So there's different algorithms that weigh things differently. When you go for a student loan, when you go for a car loan, everybody's looking at different things. The only thing that you can count on those websites for is pretty darn close, accurate information of what's on your credit. That's what it's to be used for. What's on your credit, not the score. Okay? You let me worry about the score, but that you can use it for to see what's on it, to make sure nobody's misusing it, nobody else that you know is using it, and you have a right to see which creditors are on there.
What would be, like, say if Credit Karma said it was like 750, what would you be looking at it to be lower? Would it be lower?
Well, no, it's just gonna be different.
But how much, do you know?
It depends. Usually I'm looking at it probably, I don't know, maybe 20 to 50 points difference.
Okay,
You know, but it all depends on what's on your score.
okay.
Anybody else have any questions? I think you had a question?
I was gonna ask about, I know that when it comes to your credit cards, like when you guys look at it, when you look at our credit line, we have to have a credit line in order for us to.
What's it? Yeah, so remember, when she's looking at your credit, if she's not running a mortgage FICO score either, okay? You are going to her because she has ways to improve your score and fix it over time. And I would guide you and I would lead you there, but there's rules different from FHA and conventional, but usually they want to see what's known as 3 trade lines, meaning a car loan, a credit card, a student loan. Those are trade lines. It's a line item on your credit. That's a trade line. Okay, so usually they're looking for 3. Okay, so you want to have 3 trade lines. That's why I said earlier, somebody that thought they were smart and paid everything off now has 0 trade lines and they can't get a mortgage. Okay? So those are considered trade lines, and usually you have to have at least one. I can work around and say, oh, well, hey, you pay a cell phone bill every month, right? You got a utility bill every month, okay? Well, that's called ancillary credit that I could use. But you need to have some trade lines. So that's why it's so important to Not listen to your friend or the neighbor or anybody else or on TV about what's your credit, and actually just speak to the credit professionals.
So, that question I have. So what if you closed out a credit card,
Mhm.
right? And the only way that you were able to have a credit card history was because of that card, but due to the fact you closed it out, you don't have no credit history. Is there a way that you can reopen that credit card so
You
that
could,
you can have credit
you
history?
could, it depends on the specific creditor, but you could reactivate. You could reactivate, and that's why we always try to tell you to pay something off, but don't close it.
Yeah, because that can
It's
lower
different.
your credit score
Yeah, the
by
credit-
closing that account.
The algorithm's gonna say you have zero balance. That's gonna affect you one way. You have, or it's completely closed with this, or with a balance or the zero balance. That's way differently. It's got a balance, but it's in collections. It's no longer active. That's a different. So that one trade line is gonna affect your credit score in so many different variety of ways, depending on the status. Collections, active, late, derogatory, paid in full, paid half, paid late, whatever the case might be. So those trade lines. And my job is to make those trade lines look nice and pretty. My underwriter will say, there you go.
Okay, so again, if you have any accounts, you can pay them down, but please do not close those accounts, because they will lower your credit score, okay?
Don't do anything until you call me.
Yeah, call him, and then he and I we'll all work together as a team, we all work together as a team, okay? The first thing
And
we'll call.
we're very creative, I'm sorry, we're very creative, our team is very creative. You go to your specific lender out there, they're great and all, but the creativity that we're gonna make for you to get you into the house, they will not. I'm telling you that right now. We're not doing anything bogus, we're just trying to do things to get you.
It's just about caring.
It's just
Some
what it
people
is
care about you, some people
Yeah.
don't. The people in this
You know,
room taking their
you're
time
just
out
not
on a
another
Saturday, they care
number.
about you.
for us. You're just not another number. We are, like boutique, like you mentioned, we work with you one-on-one through the whole process. You know, that's what we do.
I have a question that maybe somebody here would wanna know about medical bills. So as a loan officer, you know, we've all been there, we go to the hospital, we have a $2,000, $3,000
Sure.
collection medical bill. How does that affect?
So the
Yeah.
medical bills unfortunately affect your credit score, right? But we don't count them when it comes to your credit amount, total debt. So if you owe $50,000 for some hospital, we're not concerned with that amount. We're not concerned with you paying that off at all. Unfortunately, we are concerned with the score, and it does affect the score. But when I say we don't care about medical bills, we don't. But the score took into account those medical bills.
That's
So-
what she comes into account.
Exactly.
So if they had, because you told me some years ago, it's not the amount of debt that you have, it's the amount of money that you make. Was that right, or is it the other way around?
Well, that's a DTI thing.
Okay.
People make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, still can't qualify because they spend $100,000 a year.
Or more than what
Cause
they
they
Right,
spend
right.
more than what they actually
Right.
have.
But if you
That
have,
happens a lot. I mean, I get people that, they tell me, oh, I make 150,000, I'm like, oh my God, I got a deal. They spent 200,000.
Yeah.
I mean, like.
All in credit.
That's hard, boy.
You don't have like, you don't really know, like, you know how sometimes you don't really know how many bills you actually pay out till you sit down and write it down and be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like I'm really paying this much
Yeah.
in bills?
And also,
Yeah.
let's say you have a credit card or credit line, keep it below 30%. Because if it's above, your credit score will decrease, okay? It does impact it, okay?
If you wanna know how to have perfect credit, you can call me, but basically, you wanna have 3 different trade lines. The perfect credit is 3 different trade lines. You have a revolving credit, you have 1 credit card, revolving credit card. You have 1 installment loan, that's your car loan, and you have 1 mortgage, and then maybe 1 student loan if you have it.
one
But
mortgage?
Yeah, you have a mortgage, a revolving credit, and installment.
Oh,
loan.
that's after they
Those are-
close.
Right, those
Yeah.
are your 3 different types of, your basic 3 types of trade lines. You have 1 of each, and you have 30% or less on most of them, you'll have perfect credit.
That's the 800 score right there.
And you only have is 3 things?
Yeah, all you have.
Anybody here has student loans?
There you go. There you go.
Alright, so might as well talk about student loans. Student loans,
Very important
They call me and they
How
say,
can I get it
hey,
off of my credit
Louis, I don't have any student loans.
card?
I don't have to pay my student loans, they're deferred. Well, sorry, I have to create a payment, I have to create a number for you that I'm gonna count against you, okay?
Especially if it's FHA.
Yeah, so it's called 1%.
Can you repeat what you said you didn't hear? She
Oh,
just
so
wanted
if
the
you,
one-
if you have student loans,
No,
but
before
you
the,
don't-
for the one mortgage.
The
Oh,
perfect trade
perfect
line.
a perfect trade line is
Yeah.
3 different types of trade lines, revolving credit, installment loan, and a mortgage loan. That's your perfect credit. And can you have perfect credit with other things?